Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. When we left off, we had gone through some more of the Black Omen and beaten up a bunch of baddies and gotten some pretty good treasure and such. I told you that I was probably going to go through and fight the Ruminators to get some Mega Elixirs, and I ended up doing just that. Go ahead and show you, I ended up getting around 30, you see 33 there. In doing so, I had to go back through and beat up some of the other enemies to get them, so I picked up a couple more power tabs and what have you while we were on the way. I also learned some new techs for the crew. I learned, I learned Flare for Lucia. I also learned a couple of double techs as well. Let's see if I can find them here. Alright, I ended up learning, Blaze Kick for Lucia and Ayla. And I also learned Black Hole. I also learned one of Magus' tags. Oh, not a dual tag. Come back here. Alright, so I also learned Black Hole as well. So I'll show those to you as we go through, although we're going to be adding a few extra battles to do so. Wander over this way and we pick up Speed Tab, which is always nice. Alright, and another teleport. Hooray! Making our way further into this thing. Okay, let's go through here, and I'm going to sneak a couple of these guys into the battle here. I'm going to keep Chrono in, of course. And I'm going to sneak Magus in so that we can go ahead and use the Black Hole tech, but I want to keep Ayla in for basically stealing reasons, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, we haven't seen these guys yet. Blob and the Alien. Now, what you want to do is you can steal from the Blob here, and you notice that we get a magic ring, not too bad. Let me go ahead and show off the Black Hole tech here. What it does is, it calls itself Power of Life and Death. Basically what it'll do is, if you're lucky, and I wasn't, then you'll suck in the enemies to basically take them out. Now you notice the blobs will counterattack with magic of their own. Now we haven't really seen anything from these mutants, or from these aliens yet. We can actually get magic tabs from them, so go to it. In essence, what you want to do is you'll want to hit these blobs, just basically try to knock them out, and then go and try to steal everything from these guys. Because once you start talking about trying to, say, I'm going to use kind of Magus as a guinea pig here. If you attack these aliens physically, they're going to counterattack with their own, well, what could be a death attack. Fortunately, it missed him. So be very careful when it comes to fighting these aliens. In essence, try to nuke them so that they can't counterattack that way, just as you see, like so. But be sure to get the magic tabs from them first, because they won't counterattack the magic tabs for some reason. So, or counterattack when you steal the magic tabs from them, rather. Alrighty, so there's your blobs and your aliens here, and we'll just move further on. Now, you notice you've got these guys here. Well, of course, the sidekicks and the boss eyes that we had seen before. Now, the only character that really needs any skill points now is Magus. So, you know, I'm not really going to bother with them, and you can actually go around these guys pretty easily. So don't worry about queuing them up unless you absolutely need the tech points, which I don't. So I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, cool, tabs are good. Alright, let me put Lucia in the party here so we can show off Flare and Blaze Kick, or we can show off, yeah, Blaze Kick and Flare. So let's pull these guys up here. Alright, we've got more aliens. Alright, so of course, as before, take a moment and do some thieving. And then you'll go in, and then we'll use these attacks after Ayla does her thieving. So Let's go ahead and get this out of here. And I'm going to give Ayla some of her magic back so that we can use this. Alright, so first off, let's show off Blaze Kick. Move down here, and you've got the, well, light Ayla on fire. And it's basically a triple, it's triple fire kicking. Holy crap. Now next up, I'm going to show off Flare, which is Lucia's most powerful single fire attack. And it hits pretty hard too, so hooray for both of them. Oh god, and then I learned a triple tech, go figure. Okay, Gatling Kick, I'll have to show that one off a little bit later, I think. Alright, oh hey, we have a save point, nice. Alright, let me sneak Frog back into the party because I have a pretty strong feeling we're going to have a boss fight on our hands soon. Let's get ourselves prepared, of course. And you might notice from some of the stats, we desperately needed that heal. Okay, alright, let's go up here and see what we have on our hands. A lot of colory panels, okay. And more colory panels. And another mutant, okay. Alright, but it doesn't look like we have, Zeal ready to brag, I suppose, so that's good. Okay, Giga Mutant, as you saw it. Just basically do the usual stealing repertoire. And great, this thing's gonna sit here and take, okay, instead of taking hit points from us, it takes magic from us, which is, not good, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. And it looks like that's the way it's gonna pretty much counter every magic attack, is to steal our magic from us. Now, unfortunately, okay, well, I guess that's how it's gonna counter every attack then. Unfortunately, you notice the physical attacks don't do a whole heck of a lot of good. Yeah, silly boy hitting Chrono with that. Well, they don't do any good at all. And they don't do any good on the bottom either. So you're going to want to stick with magic attacks really throughout. Now that, of course, for Chrono means Luminaire, most notably. For Frog, that means Water 2, unless he gets way down in hit points, and then you can start thinking about Frog Squash. But for now, you'll want to count on using Luminaire and Water 2. And Ayla's kind of the odd girl out here, unless you can get her stealing the items. But really, outside of that, Ayla may end up kind of being your pseudo healer in a way, if you want to keep these guys pumping out damage. Fortunately, it looks like the worst attack he has is that shining bit, which isn't too bad. So you shouldn't really have a whole lot of problems as far as keeping up with damage. There we go. If you're careful, unless you get that. And fortunately, it was Frog's turn anyway, so go ahead and heal him back up. I guess actually I could have used Frog Squash there. Oh well. Like I've mentioned before, I prefer more to keep my allies up in regards to hit points than I do using the super attacks, because it just gets too... you just got too many potential problems if you go that route. Yeah, I know, you're gonna steal all my magic, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, Ayla's getting pretty decent at the whole healing thing. Alright, come on, Ayla, I want to give Chrono his magic back. Hurry up. Now, you might be asking yourself, Self, you've got a lot of those speed tabs because you've been stealing them from all those panels. True. So, Self, why haven't you used them yet? Well, I'm hanging on to those for good, well, what I think is good reason at least. For one, Chrono's already pretty speedy, especially with the haste helm on. He's kind of just bouncing up there. But I'm also hanging on to them for another reason, which I'll talk about a bit more when we get to it. It'll be later on. actually a pretty decent bit later on, but I'll mention it. So if you've got a bunch of them like I have, just hang on to them. I wouldn't recommend using them yet, although, I mean, obviously they can be helpful, but I wouldn't recommend using them just yet for what I think is a pretty decent reason. There we go, all right. And see, not too bad. And cool, Ayla leveled up there. And alrighty, so go ahead and get ourselves rested again, because it never hurts, especially since we got a little ways left in here. Alright, now, I'm going to put Lucia back into the party because we now have a triple attack to show off, and I want to go ahead and do that in the next battle. Oh, wow, another teleport. These are kind of a dime a dozen now. Alright, let's see what we have here. Okay, another elevator, hooray! And nothing to snag, so let's go up, apparently, and see what we end up fighting. Hey, Ruminators! Now, normally, I would go stealing bunches of Mega Elixirs from them, but I'm going to use them to show off Gatling Kick. Lots of fire, lots of lightning, lots of kicking, lots of wowee, okay. And it doesn't hurt them a bit because it's a magic attack and they're not particularly enthused about that sort of thing. So let's just stick to trying to kick their butt, shall we? I may have to use that again at a more appropriate time, I guess, so my bad. But at any rate, exploit it like you did before, but once it gets down to one, just kind of abandon the whole exploitation thing and to take them out. Alrighty, not too bad. And that's it? Really? No more battles? Wow, no more battles, okay. Alright, up we go. And I think we're gonna have some more nice enemies popping up. Yeah, okay. Now, let's use this whole Gatling Kick in a slightly more appropriate fashion so that I can actually show off the attack and you can see what it's really worth. Hey, if you guys would hurry up and let me attack. Come on, you. Yeah, y'all are easy enough now. Just, there we go. All right, now, let's really see this thing do some work, shall we? The true power of Triple Tech Gatling Kick. Thwackity, 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 thwackity. Yeah, there we go. Now you see it's worth using if you've got it. Alrighty, so let's just dust these guys off and go on about our business. Hehehe. Alrighty, and on we go. And I'm gonna sneak Frog back into the party because he's our primary member in regards to all that. And mosey on along here. Okay, we've got a couple of bats. We can skip them though. Whoop, or not. Phooey. Okay, nothing really to report there. I just kind of wish I could have skipped those guys. Alright, let's see what we have awaiting us up. Oh, I think we might have a Tubster up here. Duck in. I'm gonna heal Frog real quick because he's a little down on his luck. Okay. Yeah, I think this guy's a Tubster and... oh, he's two Tubsters, okay. Okay, nothing really to report there. Notice Ayla's been doing a lot of critical hits lately, just a observation. I don't really know if there's anything specific causing it. It's just been happening. Sweet. All right, venture onward. And I believe we've got more panels up here. Yep. Okay, you see, of course, all I really did was take out those panels. Yay. All right, on another speed tab. Okay, well, I seem to have plenty of those. We get another nice save point that pops up here. And a word I will say about those panels, I mentioned, of course, make sure that you are using them for their speed tabbiness, stealing their speed tabs. And I believe if you go back through the Black Omen again, those panels will be gone. So be sure to get those speed tabs while you can. Let's venture up here and... okay. Got more enemies, it looks like. Ah, another mutant, okay. Alright, Terra Mutant. Well then, Okay, well, alright, he's shooting rocks at me. And his top still doesn't really take much damage in regards to physical attacks. I don't believe the bottom does either, so let's see, I'll use Frog as a guinea pig here. Okay, alright, well you notice okay, yeah, physical attacks are really pretty much worthless. Boo, how dare you. Okay, well so basically, just sit there and keep using Luminaire, and you notice the bottom, or the top is gonna take HP from the bottom. So you need to be careful in regards to that as well. Now, I've said I usually don't like using the ultimate attacks, but since it looks like we might actually be able to get away with it this time, I'm gonna see about using it and see if it'll do any good. Frog Squashy! Oh, really? Aye, perfectly terrible time for that. Yep, there he goes. Oh well, no Frog Squashy for me, I guess. At least not yet. Alright. Just keep basically spamming Luminaire with Chrono. And he's fortunately not going to be stealing any magic from us, which is nice. So, just keep on pretty much exploiting that as best you can. Oh, I say that, and then he steals almost all of Frog's hit points. Go figure. But fortunately, leaves Frog alive long enough so that we can keep spamming Luminaire, not really have to worry about that. Alright, drat you, Frog Squash time. Splat. Splooch. Splunk. Thwog. And it does nothing. Wow, never mind. Alright. That case, I guess stick to the Luminaire and keep him healed up, because it looks like it's not really going to do any good. And now we have a dead frog again. Alright, well, never mind about the Frog Squash technique. I guess it's considered to be a physical attack, so it's not really going to do you any good. Alright, yeah, we know. That's not that much of a problem. In essence, it's just basically hastening its end. So in essence, keep the magical attacks going so that you can end up phasing the top away from the bottom. And then... yeah, would you cut that out? I mean, really, I was just about to heal him. Oh well, at any rate. There we go, okay. Hey, you keep on doing that. You keep on phasing your top HP away, or the bottom HP away there, and I think that'll eventually get the job done. But while you're doing that, just keep on plugging away at it. You steal your stuff with Ayla, and then in essence, you know, you should pretty well be good to go with maybe the occasional flops here and there. Alright, unfortunately, aside from the stealing, Ayla's not going to be a whole lot of help aside from healing, so if you want to, I guess, sort of leave her out, then you might, I don't know, just, you know, kind of make your own decision in regards to that. Okay, chaos. Nah, yeah, that's not going to do any harm to us. Ha 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 ha. It's just going to hurt us a little bit. Alright, now let's keep going. I think in essence I'm going to use Ayla as my healer just so I can keep these other two pushing magical attacks at the balls. There we go. Got the top down, and in essence, once the top goes away, there's not really much to do. Just sit there and wait for the bottom to die. So Chrono levels up. We take out another boss. We get some more treasure. Oh, we got the white rock. Yes. Okay. Good. So I'm going to go over here, and we're going to save this here. And on the next episode of Let's Play Chrono Trigger, well, we'll head on toward the end of the Black Omen, and maybe I'll have a few battles to show off all of those rocks and all of their powers. And even if I don't, I'll try to see about showing them off when we fight the big boys in town. So thank you guys for joining me, and I will see y'all later.